G'day guys, DBE Metal Oxide Fuzz. DBE is designed by Eric. It's a little sort of name I came up for the effects that he was making, and he liked it, so it stuck. So it's DBE. We just say DBE for short. Designed by Eric. This is the Metal Oxide Fuzz. So it's a fuzz face with Q2 as a MOSFET. So Q2 is a MOSFET. I have never built something like that before. It'd be interesting to hear it. In fact, speaking of hear it, let's hear it right now. Eric does a bit of sound recording, and he recorded this clip of the Metal Oxide Fuzz, and I think it's good to show you this as an example because it's totally different to the sound you're going to hear out of my amp. Because I got my, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know I got my way of doing recording with my amp, and I've always got a similar sound. I actually like to keep it that way so you know, you guys get used to what I use. So every time I use a new effect, you kind of know what my sound generally is, so you can tell the difference. It's got a bit of a benchmark, but it'd be interesting to hear what he came up with this pedal, the sound clip that he has. So I'm going to show you some photos, some close-ups and stuff of the pedal, and I'm going to play the track over the top. So let's have a listen to it. So that sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? Totally different to what you're going to hear through my amp. My amp and guitar and my setup, as you know, I always keep it the same. I don't often change my equipment because I want you to be able to use it as a benchmark. Whenever I'm testing an effect, you know what to expect from my gear, and then you'll know what the effect is doing to it. So there's actually method behind the madness. I'm not just lazy and I don't want to change my my gear, although I do like my gear, the Bad Cat amp. And then some sort of humbucker guitar, but usually it's either the Les Paul or the SG. I do like that equipment, but I don't try and fiddle too much with it because, like I said, I want you to be able to use it as a benchmark so you know what to expect. So that's that effect, that sample that Eric's recorded is through his gear, and it's going to sound a lot different than through mine, I'm anticipating. So I can't remember what gear he actually has either, what he was actually using in it. Maybe he'll leave a comment below. He usually watches my videos, so just read below and you'll probably see a few comments from him on, because obviously this is his baby, so he's probably got a few things to say. So the build doc's pretty straightforward, but there is one page that I actually wanted to point out. Eric's been doing how it works pages, just some information about you know, like some of the engineering notes that he's taken when he's made the effect. He's made some information for you to read if you want to learn about more in-depth sort of mechanisms of electronics and the mathematics, some of the mathematics involved. This isn't too complicated, the one that he's got for the Metal Oxide Fuzz. I'm encouraging him to put those notes in the build doc because I know you guys are going to like them. Something that I get questions a lot about the how do I know what this does and how do I know what component that does. You can have a read through this and it'll hopefully give you some info on that side of things. So we plan to have those for maybe not all of his effects, but where he can, he's going to put those notes in as well. So just so you can read and do a bit of learning while you're building. So back to the actual effect. We pretty much just go straight back into it now. So the enclosure was painted by my daughter. my daughter and my son had a bit of fun doing that. This is one of those things that I love doing. I mean, I've said it before, why have some perfection water slide, which is, you know, like made with accuracy to within a millimeter of its life, when you can have something that's just so memorable like this. You know, I like to do them every now and then and let the kids have a go at it as well. It's one of the few things that children can get involved with guitar pedal building. So I like to sort of, you know, like make the most of that. And you know, I mean, when she's older, you know, this is, my daughter did this one, my son did the next pedal, which you're going to see. And when she's older, she can look at it and like, I've got epoxy on that, and it's going to last for the we could have a, you know, I could be hit by a nuclear missile and that thing's still going to last. It's just like a sheet of plastic on the top, so the artwork underneath is just so well protected. Even better than clear coating and all that sort of stuff. On the inside, doesn't get much more simple than that. In fact, I don't really have much to say on the inside. It's just so simple. That Q2, there's not really much point mucking around with it. The MOSFET, because it's been biased specifically for the one that he's made the effect for, which is the BS170. So there's not really a lot of experimenting you can do with that one. You can change Q1 if you like. Q2, I had a little play around with a couple other ones and didn't sound very good. I went back to the BS 170 because that's the one that was made. That's the one that was made to be. It's just so simple to put together. Like I said, the PCB is cheap as $3.50 AUD, and you know, it's really simple to put together. Again, it's another easy first build option. If this is the sort of sound that you like, and it's easy to get into a 1590B too, so that makes it easy for you as well. Doesn't quite fit in a 1590A. I said to Eric, oh, can you make it just a tiny bit smaller? But you can't, because the two pots next to each other like that, very difficult to fit in a 1590A. You'd be better off doing 9mm pots, but they're more expensive. So if you're going to do a 1590A, then you usually just do a 1590A. You could stagger the pots, so bring it down and across a bit, so they're kind of diagonal, and then it would fit in a 1590A, but then it wouldn't look a bit stupid in a 1590B. So yeah, it's 1590B, this one, or bigger, but you probably don't need to go much bigger than that because you've got tons of room. Let's have a listen to it. So we've heard Eric's sample. So, oh, there we go. I put a little note on the inside. That's my daughter's name, Ali, and the date when she drew on the front, so that I've got that sort of like a little time capsule. Let's have a listen to this now in front of the amp and see what it sounds like. effect is simple, and so is the sound demo. You've only got a couple of controls for me to actually play around with, so it's quite easy to demonstrate. So it's pretty, it sounds like a fuzz pedal, but it doesn't sound like a fuzz pedal. I don't know if maybe the name and Eric's sound demo has influenced me into my perception of what it actually sounds like, but for some reason it sounds like it's getting a little bit sort of metal to some degree, or you can certainly tweak it so it does sound metally, but also metal as in the sound of metal, like it's kind of got a bit more of an industrial sort of sound to the distortion. That's just what it appears to my ear anyway. I certainly don't have any other fuzz pedal that sounds much like this one. So that is the metal Oxide Fuzz. Cheap, simple to build, pretty decent sounding fuzz at the other side of it. And yeah, that's it. If you want one, get one from the store. Got the link below. Click on it, take it to the store where you can buy it. And yeah, there's a few more. There's actually a ton more DBE effects coming up for, this is the first one of many. I think we're up to about 10 in the background. That's actually how far behind I am with these demos. But there's a couple of DBE PCBs already on the website if you want to have a look at the next couple that are coming up. But trust me, after that there's still a ton more. We're still working on stuff in the background. In fact, I need to catch up so we can start on some new projects. So anyway, that's the first one. Hope you liked it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be probably the DBE Whipped Llama. Yes, that's its name, Whipped Llama. See you in the next video.